On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, Josh's Bronco II. What is going on, guys? I'm Watch Chair Go, and like I said, I'm here with Josh's Bronco II, and we've got something special for you today. You know how when we picked this thing up, of course, we got that nice, beautiful Holley carburetor right there. And Josh and I got that installed and rewired the thing to use a distributor, and we had it running like that. It just doesn't run that well. It's getting like 12 miles a gallon, it's rich, and we don't like to tune carburetors, and we don't have a wideband on a stick, so, you know, tuning carburetors is real annoying.
It runs, but there's obviously more there.
Yep.
Like the mid-range is kind of flat.
Yep.
Like you said, I don't know. I don't want to pull jets. And
Well, so you guys know what the solution is. We're ripping the brand new carburetor off and putting EFI on this truck the way it should be. My truck is completely full of Holley sauce, and we're gonna have some fun today. This thing's gonna be amazing. I think it's gonna be a ripper once we go to EFI on it, and it runs like perfectly. So anyway, we're gonna show you guys how relatively easy this is. I mean, there is a little bit of work involved. It is easy. It's just a carburetor with an electric fuel pump, basically. It's no big deal. It might take us a little bit of time because we have to add in a fuel return. That's like the only thing we're worried about here. It's gonna rock.
Four wires.
Four wires,
two fuel lines.
And it'll even have a little tuning screen so you can tune on the fly. Like, what could be better than that? You don't have to open the hood. You just sit there with the little touch screen in your hand. All right, back to scootering. So this is my Ferrari Scuderia. Anyway, that's all Holley stuff there. It's level full.
It's an antique.
Yes, it is. And here we have the Holley carburetor with the sacrilege air cleaner on it. Here, let's just get started on this job. What'd you tighten that with? All right.
Bald eagles.
Bald eagles and freedom. It's the best thing to tighten it with. It's the one wing nut I can't get off. Whoa! What's hooked up to there?
Oh, that PCV valve.
It's extremely hot. My fingers were absolutely burning.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, I was like, no, forget it. We're not working on this anymore.
Heads up would have been nice.
Yes, I tried. My fingers are burning. Well, there is the Holley carb that we have on this thing, and here is the Sniper that we are replacing it with. So we'll kind of take a look inside the boxes here. We, of course, have the much upgraded Holley air cleaner. Oh, it's beautiful. You can see the Holley lettering there. And we'll open up the big box, and this is the master kit with everything you need to install your Holley. You can see this is the fuel system without return, and we are going to have to add a return, I think, in terms of the fuel line, all the fittings. I mean, these things are great. There's a pump in there, everything you need. And of course, the important box is right here, and we did open it up and take a look at this, but that is absolutely beautiful. These things are a work of art. You can see all the wiring goes out of the back, so it's all hidden. So nice. So that's the system, and there's a touchscreen in there, a couple of wires, the 4 wires we have to hook up, relays, and a new gasket, and we should be good to go. Well, the engine bay is about 900 degrees. I grabbed that air cleaner and was burning my fingers, so we bailed on that for a minute. We're gonna get the tank all wrapped up first, because obviously it's probably the hardest part. It's the most time-consuming part. Everything up front shouldn't take too long. So we're gonna start pulling off the skid plate on the tank. Will it blend? I bet these bolts break.
They are 13s.
There's quite a bit of rust on there, so there's a chance that we'll have to struggle with that a little bit. Hopefully not, though. And then we're gonna try to lower the car, bring like that barrel over here, set the tank on the barrel, and lift the car back up. We are ready to start dropping the fuel tank out of the Bronco II, but first I need to take a second to tell you about the sponsor of today's video. Otis is a stock market for cultural items where almost anyone can buy and sell shares of rare items, collectibles, sneakers, art, all kinds of cool things like that. I'll show you guys what the app looks like on screen now, but they have over 100 rare collectibles to choose from, including sports cards, memorabilia, graded comics, video games, contemporary art, and even real sneakers. Plus, they add new assets every week. Personally, I'm interested in the Patrick Mahomes RPA that's coming out soon. It's about to start trading. Obviously, Kansas, Chiefs fan. I'll show you guys that. I'll probably jump in on that one, And there's video games on here, lots of the video games that we grew up with, lots and lots of cool things, and you can buy and sell shares of those. And eventually, I just saw a couple of them sell, and when they sell, you can take the possible profits from those items. Of course, you can buy and sell shares of these items to other members on the platform as well. Otis has all the information you need to make a smart investment, from financials to trading stats. They even have an expansive Learn section that covers topics such as recent sales, appraisal details, and I'll show you some of these now. Like the Patrick Mahomes card, or the original Halo Combat Evolved on the original Xbox, and Super Mario Bros. Obviously, those are some of my favorites. You can sign up for Otis for free with my link in the description below, and you'll get your first share free when you fund your account. Terms apply. Again, huge thank you to Otis for sponsoring today's video and being a continued supporter of automotive content creators like me. Now, let's get this Bronco apart. And a few minutes later, we have the tank skid plate off. We have the tank down. We did it the easy way, 2-post lift. That is the easy way, it's kind of cheating, right? So we lowered the car until the tank was on this barrel and then just pulled out the 2 bolts. The skid plate was a whole thing in itself. It's 15mm nuts on top, and you access it through the tag light holes. And that's definitely a 2-person job because it's incredibly hard to get the wrench on those. And then it all just came apart. Make sure you disconnect the fuel fill hose. And now we did a lot of cleaning on this tank. It's been completely wiped down. I mean, it was not this pretty. So now we're ready to punch some holes in this tank, and we're gonna put we're gonna return into the top maybe, and then put the supply right there. Something like that?
No, supply is going to be stock supply.
Oh, okay. We're just gonna pull right on it.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And then
this
will be the return.
Nice.
Just close enough that we can hold the nut on the bottom side and thread it down.
I like that a lot more because it makes it more accessible than the top.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think that top's going to be too close to the floor.
Exactly.
The more I thought about it.
And you don't want to drill a hole in the floor for no reason.
Right.
Cool.
Well, most people don't.
Well, I mean, yeah. You can do whatever you want. We also vacuumed all of this out and scraped it out to make sure no dirt falls into the tank.
But
smart. Hit it with the knocker loose.
The second thing that does, aside from lubricating the metal, it lubricates that O-ring down there.
Yes.
So that it doesn't tear when it comes out.
Yep. Checking. That's it. Nailed it. Wow. Here, let me vacuum it off.
Bingo.
Well, that worked super well.
Bingo banga.
Bingo bongo. We'd like to replace this fuel level sender while we're in here, because now is obviously the ultimate time to do it, and it's a little flaky and catches down on the bottom. So what we're going to do here is measure the resistance of this guy with the ohm meter. 4 ohm to open circuit. So you can definitely tell that this thing is bad at the bottom. If you look at the meter, I know it's a little bit tough to see there on camera, but there we've got nothing. And once we get to about half tank, yep, about half tank, it starts working. Around 20 ohms, 30 ohms. Okay, well, we know which one you need. It starts at 4 and goes to something. Building the fuel system real fast. This is the Wix filter. It's a pre-filter, and then we'll have a clamp on here. And then we'll have, you can just follow the fuel flow arrows to make your life easy. And then clamp this one down. Make all your clamps line up because that's the only correct way to do it. Another fuel flow arrow right there. It's funny, this thing's like 16 inches long once you get all the filters lined up. It just goes on and on and on. But hey, we do spend a lot of time making sure all of our clamps line up for some reason.
It's a small detail.
It is. It's the little things, you know. It's for when that lady at the drive-thru looks under your car. It's like, man, your fuel system looks dumb.
Your connections are pointing the wrong way. Ears on your clamps are all over the place.
All right, so I got to grab one more clamp, and we'll have this all put together, and then we'll mount it up inside the frame rail. Got Josh rocking it. You're gonna spin out of control.
It's got some torque steer.
It really does. Also, if you'll note, all the equipment is gone. Man, a rolling burnout. Because the roof is finished. And all the guttering. All my new downspouts. We went through today and killed all those weeds. I mean, lots of work got done today. We get the nitrous mower done shortly so that we can mow. I am literally holding off mowing because the mower is so pretty and we got to get the nitrous kit on it. This is where I almost died earlier. I came in like as hot as I could, and then it's hard to stop once you hit the top. Okay, there's 15. Oh!
Not the new wall.
Did I get some air?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I pulled up.
You end up pulling, you got like a foot of air.
A few minutes later, in one trip to O'Reilly's, we have a new diff vent installed, and it's much prettier. The old one had broken off, so we went ahead and fixed that while we were underneath here, because obviously this thing gets used for some hardcore off-roading and waterfording. I have seen it over the roof before. Okay, I haven't. But I have off-roaded this thing. Here you can see our return line, and that is our fuel supply from the tank's original pickup into the filters, into the pump, into the next filter, and the holes are drilled and the mounts are ready, and that's gonna sit right there, nice and tight up in the frame rail, protected from the mess. And we have the hoses routed up to the front, and that is way too big, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll have to cut some ears off of it.
Yeah.
Shorten it up.
Shorten it up just a tad. Unfortunately, it does not have a stock O2 like we thought it had. We were gonna just put the Holley O2 in there. But we're ready to lower the truck and start swapping things out because everything back there is done. We can't cut the hoses till it's all put where it needs to be. We have the Bronco II back on the ground. The fuel tank is in. Our lines are basically in. They're just kind of poked up there. So we need to get the actual Sniper on the truck so we know where the lines need to sit. That's kind of where we're stuck now. So what we're gonna do real quick here is pull the carb off, get the old fuel line off, of course, and hey, here's that choke. Let's see if we can get two things done at once.
Ready?
Go. All right, I think the choke's free. And I guess I can go ahead and pull these clamps off the fuel line, huh?
You pull the back one too.
Back one? Oh, the actual, I should have brought a stubby because this is not the right one. There we go.
That's never been my problem.
The choke cable is out, and that'll make for a cleaner engine bay. We get to delete the distributor advance, make for a cleaner engine bay. The fuel lines will look better and run on those nice Holley fittings. I mean, this is gonna look so much nicer. And hey man, we're almost there. Just need to pop that clip off the throttle linkage too. Okay. See if I can do it with the wrong screwdriver. Okay, we got the clip off the throttle linkage, which means the carburetor itself is free, minus one nut and the vacuum line.
I need a line wrench for this guy.
Oh man, you're going for it.
Do you have a half line?
I absolutely do. Let me go to the file cabinet of tools.
File away tools I'll need for later.
Tools I'll need one day. Receiving. Half inch.
I He-Man'd that thing on there.
Did you?
I think it was starting to drip.
Line wrench for the win. You have a half inch for real, right?
Yeah. Not here, not here.
13.
It's the fancy half inch.
Yeah, this is the French half inch.
It's the imported.
Is that a French? Boom! Okay, that thing's free, right? You got one vacuum line in the back? Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah, that thing's tight.
Oh.
What are these tolerances? Oh, okay, that works. Here, hold.
Tight. Barely used carburetor for
Yeah, anybody need a brand new Holley? How's the phenolic spacer?
spaced.
Is it in there for all of the NASCAR goodness?
Yeah. Gotta stay legit. Gotta keep it legal.
Right, right.
Smoky unit.
It's a restrictor plate, actually. It's not a spacer. That's in there to.
It's a restrictor plate.
That's in there to slow it down a little bit.
Been modified.
Yeah, you know. All right, we're done. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Finished up?
Yeah. They send a guy to do the rest. Right?
They do. The guy who shows up is actually a sniper. Oh no!
Oh, God.
They tricked us. Oh, that is literal perfection, isn't it? It looks so nice.
I think it's gonna fit.
Yeah, I think it's gonna fit.
Well, that's a cool filter.
It's a black filter.
Black on black.
Black on gold. You got black on bronze or black on gold. Oh.
That is some hot rod stuff right there.
Yes, it is. Your unpainted valve covers are gonna drive all of us nuts now. Take it apart.
Man, that does look really good.
Yeah. So we had one more complication, and that was we can't get that O2 sensor in anywhere on the pipe. First, it uses the tiniest pipe. Like we said, it's cute, 2.5-inch pipe. And here is the cat. And we ended up having to sawzall. I took the sawzall and used the gasket as a guide and just let it eat through that bolt there because it would not come out. And weirdly, that cat's perfect. We thought it was plugged, but that's getting sold now. And obviously this is an antique, so it is exempt, which is awesome. We'll chop that off with the sawzall, put in some new pipe, weld it in some new pipe, and have a test pipe or a permanent pipe because it's exempt. It's Kansas.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's tomorrow's to-do list. Lock out the distributor, hook the fuel up to that thing, give it a little bit of power, hit the switch. We're close.
Yep.
Real close.
We're an afternoon away.
Yep.
From doing burnouts.
And like we said, this is definitely a one-day job if you spent the whole day on it. But we've been here for like 4 hours, 5 hours of some food, something like that.
We took a lunch break, we sat around, we rode the scooter.
Rode the scooter a lot. It's actually almost dead, and I know it has like 25-mile range. So, anyway, we went places today. The scooter is amazing. So again, huge thank you to Otis for sponsoring today's video. I'll throw a link in the description below. Josh, his new channel, The Fractured Rooster Garage, I'll throw a link to that in the description below, and I'll throw a link to this Holley Sniper in there too, so you guys can check that out if you're interested in putting a sniper on your vehicle. I hear from a lot of you guys, tons of you guys, asking like if the sniper is this easy and how long it's going to take and what's. So this was kind of the whole process, more than we normally show, but like it really is easy. It just takes a little bit of time to find a place, locate the pump, locate the filters, all that good stuff, plumb into the gas tank and run a couple wires. Like it is that simple. So
if you didn't want to do that, Holley does make other kits.
They do
sell the fuel pumps.
Yes,
that drop
the drop-ins.
in the tank.
If you have a compatible vehicle with a drop-in,
or a whole different tank.
Yeah.
If your vehicle's popular enough.
Right.
And then I think they even have the reservoir that sits up here.
Oh, for a surge tank?
That your factory fuel pump fills, and then the high pressure pump sits in it.
Absolutely. So there are tons of options. This is truly like the easiest way to make really reliable, good power that starts every time. You don't have to worry about retuning for altitude or anything like that. Gas mileage is going to go up. Like this is good. 12 miles a gallon. We'll tell you guys where it's at when we're done. It'll be good.
I'm gonna guess 22.
It probably does get 22.
I'm gonna guess 22.
It probably does. Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjargo.com where you get cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I will talk to you next time. So anyway, we were talking about this more and the gas mileage increase. And Josh was like, if it does go up like 220, that's like doubling the range out of the tank, which would pay for this thing in like 4 or 5 months or something like that. So think about that. Like your carburetor's probably not set up right unless all you've done your whole life is tune carburetors, or you tune it on a wideband and retune every like season. So this solves all your problems. And if you guys have never seen this is the boosted rev scooter. Everyone that's been watching the channel for a while, of course, knows I'm a huge boosted board fan from even before Casey Neistat made him the thing. One of my greatest purchases of all time. I've had the first gen and the third gen, and I love the thing to death. I put like 1,000 miles on the first gen, and I have like 200 on the second gen. I don't ride it as much. Well, Boosted went out of business at the beginning of the Panorama. So now they made these scooters, and they made a handful of them, and then they went out of business, and unfortunately it's kind of going to be impossible to buy them soon. I got my hands on one. It's the greatest thing ever. Most scooters, when you take off, you have to like kick, push, and then roll into the throttle. This can take off from a standstill. Like I can literally just get on and launch this thing because it's wildly fast. And the craziest thing about it, it's all-wheel drive. It's an all-wheel drive scooter. I can do epic wheelies. It does front burnouts all the time. What a blast.